In recent years, a couple of questions have arisen on the end of year exam regarding the resistor colour code. So let's work through this now. Apologies for the low level artwork, but it'll do, it'll suffice. This is meant to represent a resistor. There are actual photographs on your handout. I'm doing the 4-band colour code system, so there are 4 coloured bands, and that will give us the value in ohms of the resistor. We'll deal with the 4th band in a little while. That's something called tolerance. We'll deal with that later. But for now, let's have a look at this. These first 3 colours, which you tend to read left to right, will give us the value of the resistor. So let's have a look at how that works. The numbers in our system, in our numbering system, go 0 to 9. So we begin with 0. You've got to remember that. Then you need to find a way of remembering which colour is associated to which number. And if you go on the internet, there are various sayings or rhymes or memory aids to try and help you remember these colours. Most of them I cannot repeat. But basically, let's have a run through this now. Here's a simple one you may wish to use and try and remember. So, bad boys race our young girls, but violet generally wins. So let's look at that again. Bad boys race our young girls, but violet generally wins. So that's a memory aid to give us the colours. And the colours are black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet or purple, grey and white. Okay, so once again, bad boys race our young girls, but violet generally wins. So you need to get that in your head. This is a source of easy marks if you get this on your final exam. So let's pick a random example. Let me suppose that we have 3 bands: yellow, violet, red. Yellow, violet, red. I'll deal with this later. So from this, yellow is 4, violet is 7, and red is 2. You might think you've got a resistor with a value of 472 ohms. That is not the case. The first 2, 4 and 7, give us numbers. The third figure, the third band, gives us the number of zeros you write on the end. So this is 4,700 or 4.7 kiloohms. Hopefully that made sense. Let me pick off a different one. Let's suppose I've got, let's have red, green and orange. So red is 2, green is 5 and orange is 3. So 25,000 or 25 kiloohms. So one to watch. Just do one final example for you. Sometimes this has the colour black, so let me suggest that we have orange, orange, black. Remember, first digit, second digit, number of zeros. This is where you could get tripped up. So orange is 3, orange is 3, black is 0. So this is not a 330 ohm resistor, this is the number of zeros. This is 33 ohms. Okay, I hope that bit makes sense. Let's flip over the page and talk about tolerance. Tolerance is this band here. So tolerance is how much the value of the resistor can vary by. We cannot get every single resistor value. They're not made like that, and I'll explain why in the next video. But let's deal with this thing called tolerance. If I have a 100 ohm resistor and the tolerance can vary by 10%, the first thing I need to do is work out 10% of 100. So 10% of 100 is 10. So what that means is when we buy a 100 ohm resistor with a gold band on it, which is a silver band, which is 10%, that means as you buy it, it could be 100 minus 10, which gives us 90. Or it could be as high as 100 plus 10. So it could be as high as 110 ohms. So this is the tolerance. And how we would write it is this is a 100 ohms and it's plus or minus 10%. So I'll stress again, 10% was silver. At this level, we're going to pick up most of the time just 3 different colours for tolerances. So 5% is normally our best one. So I was going to write the wrong thing. That is gold. 10% would be silver. And 20% will be pink. There's a long story goes with this one, but when resistors were first made, they weren't very good at all, and they all had a tolerance of 20%, so they varied widely. And when they were very, very, very first made, they had no coloured band on them at all. So you may pick up a very old resistor with only 3 bands on it, and that would mean there is no 4th band, so it's 20%. So pink or none will give us 20% tolerance. Getting better, 10% tolerance is silver, and gold is best of all, 5%. So I hope that makes sense for you. Let me just look at one final calculation. A common exam question in recent years has been, you will be given the colours to work out a particular resistor. Let's suppose it was brown, black, red, and you'll be given the tolerance. Let's say it's silver, and the question will ask you what is the minimum and maximum values that this resistor may have. So they're asking you about the tolerance. The tolerance is 10% if it's silver. Let's look at the value. Brown is 1, black is 0, so that's our first 2 digits. and red is 2. So that means there are 2 more digits. This makes 1000 ohms. So 1000 ohms with a tolerance of 10%, so plus or minus 10%. Going back to the question, who wanted to know the minimum and maximum values, the limits caused by the tolerance. So 10% of 1000 is 100. So it's 1000 minus 100 and 1000 plus 100. That's the range of this resistor with a 10% tolerance. When you buy one off the shelf, you could get one that is 900 ohms, you could get one that is 1000, you could get one that is 1100 ohms. So it has a tolerance. And the answer you'll be looking for in your question may say something like that, but they'll give you 2 answers and you've got to pick the right 2, so you need to be able to go through this process. Okay, I'll stop there until we get to the next one.